During practice, the Doctori shows Spartacus his weak points. He then encourages them to train hard so that they'll be remembered. The men then further advance their skills at the Ludus. The Vulcanalia festival is upcoming and 20 are selected to fight, 2 fighting at the Primus at the end. Bariatus explains that the magistrate might not attend during the games. He's worried about the money he keeps losing and the current drought that's around. When Spartacus mentions Barca, Varro tells the story behind him becoming the beast of Carthage, slaying a warrior. Spartacus seeks not fame or glory. Batiatus says Asura was sold to a Syrian merchant, but he hasn't got the exact location yet. Crixus glances towards Naevia on the balcony. During practice, as Spartacus fastens the cloth, the trainer is displeased and says he's not worthy, but Spartacus says he's a Thracian and it's in his blood. The Doctori calls a swamp of piss and then urinates in front of him, and then commands him to kneel. He then kneels and the man says that the lands they hail from don't matter. He's then kicked into the piss. Crixus is summoned by the Dominus. He has a small talk with Naevia before. When he finally enters, he realizes it's for intimacy. When the Doctori mentions how one begs for mercy when defeated, Spartacus says he doesn't need a lesson in submission. So the men are then sent to the hall, where excrements are dropped on them. The Doctori then announces the gladiators will be fighting at the Vulcanalio. Crixus as the champion will be facing Gnaeus. Spartacus will be fighting Varro at the very beginning, but he wants to go up and fight Crixus. Asher warns him against the might of Crixus and tells him the story how he defeated the terrifying Gargan twins. They had a vicious battle where he eventually managed to kill them. But Spartacus finds it and exaggerates the story just like with Barcus. During training, Spartacus incites Gnaeus. The man then charges, but Spartacus evades and he hits his face. He's taken away. After glancing at Naevia, Crixus tells Asher he needs a favor. Spartacus wants to face Crixus as he can't wait for years to save his wife. The men are then told to dress for the reception. They're all lined up and checked by the visitors. Asher hands something to Crixus. When Illydia sees Spartacus, she's displeased that he still lives. Varro says that the Sardanian will be next facing Crixus. Spartacus doesn't like it. He then suddenly tackles Crixus and they start fighting. When the public enjoys it, Batiatus lets it go on for a moment. He then stops them and says that this was just a taste of the coming games. The men will settle it tomorrow in the arena. Lucretia is angry about Spartacus' actions, but Bariatus made the best out of the moment and says that he'll lose and be discarded anyway. As Naevia goes out to get some wine, Crixus scares her and she drops the jar. He says he'll throw the pieces over the cliff and apologize for the things he said earlier. He's not good with words. He then grants her a gift and then leaves. It is a necklace. Spartacus still believes he can beat Crixus. A man mocks him and says he also thinks he can defeat Theocles. He then narrates how it is a living, undefeated giant of a man also named as the Shadow of Death. No one who stood up against him lived, except for one man who whips them daily. The Doctori then tells them that they should rest as they might be entering the arena for the first time, or their last. The day has arrived. Varro won his match and Spartacus is ready. The magistrate addresses the crowd as the prime is about to begin. Batiatus opens the spectacle. Spartacus enters the arena and the crowd cheers. Then, Crixus enters and the crowd is very loud. Just as Batiatus is about to open the match, Spartacus runs up and attacks Crixus. He attacks as violently as he can. After a few strikes, Crixus tackles him. Illydia is disappointed. Spartacus attacks once more, but goes down yet again. Crixus then takes off his helmet and looks towards the balcony. All 3 women are happy. He then smiles and says he will begin now. He strikes Spartacus' shield and head and then he cuts his thigh. When he gets up, he's hit in the face, losing his helmet, shield and sword. Crixus then holds his sword at his throat and the crowd shouts to kill him. Spartacus reflects upon his wife. He then holds up his 2 fingers for mercy. The magistrate doesn't like it, but Batiatus is relieved and says Spartacus fought well and wants him to live. The crowd isn't happy, so the magistrate is angry and storms off. So does Illydia. Afterwards, Spartacus says his blade could not find any weakness. The Doctori tells him that there were at least some 10 points where he could have taken advantage, that he needed more training. When Spartacus says that he will train harder, he's told that it's too late for such things now.